Good morning. It's good to see nobody this morning. Actually, who knows? I am a little bit early. It's your King Ginger, your friend, your lawn maintenance professional, your undercover lover. It's I. Um, so this morning, I uh, I want to try something that we haven't done in a while. Um, I have been finding myself kind of desperate for some type of game, narrative game where I can just kind of get the gaming part out. But I have found that I struggle in other people's games because my brain is instantly going to try to poke holes in what's going on just because I have run games for too long. I think it's a different skill, and I'm not sure I possess it very well currently. Um, so I've been thinking of ways and looking at other games and trying to figure out, is there something out there that would um, best put me in a position to like be a part of the games that I run, but remain a part. So I think my best bet may have come across. I've been trying to figure out a way to play a narrative Star Wars game, um, preferably some type of small game. And I looked at um, oh the space equivalent of Frostgrave, Stargrave, and I like it a lot. I love Frostgrave. I think it's one of my favorite narrative tabletop uh, miniatures games, maybe ever. I think it's an absolute brilliant game. I think it takes everything that Mordheim does well and then just improves upon it. But it's kind of busy. There's a lot going on, and I don't want to do a lot of upkeep. I looked at one page rules stuff, and I like it a lot. But I think it's not, it's built for two players minimum. It's built for that kind of back and forth. I kind of fell into a rabbit hole of 5 Parsecs From Home. And while it does have a massive amount of material, I mean, I think there's 3 editions of it now, and most of the books are pretty long. I am kind of interested in trying this out. I have a lot of space miniatures I have not touched in a while, and maybe this would help me get off my keister and work on that a little bit. So I think the plan is today we are going to do a couple things. We're going to roll up our world that we're going to start on, and then from there, I think we make a crew and we see what happens. Um, I think we might be flying solo today. I did reach out to folks to see if anyone was interested. I think Matt is unfortunately occupied elsewhere this morning. Um, but we're going to do the best we can, flying solo, see what happens. If you're out there in the chat and you want to roll some dice, let me know, and you can roll some dice for me. So the first thing I think we need to do is figure out the world type. I've got the, I can blow this up a little bit more for y'all. And this is from a book. I don't think it is canon or actually approved. It's called Every Star, a Star an Opportunity, and it's for world building for 5 Parsecs From Home. And yeah, I know that there's a 5 Leagues from the Borderlands as well, which is the fantasy equivalent. And while I am interested, and I probably will touch that at some point, and I don't mean it in a weird way, to be able to do some things, I'm really in a weird kind of like space obsessed brain set right now. All right, so we're gonna roll 2 10-siders inside this tiny box, and let's see what we get. What's our world gonna look like? Ooh, a whopping 6. Okay, so we are cool. Let's go to our World, or starting world, I guess. All right. Let's see what's next. Atmosphere. Like I said, if you're out there and want to roll dice for me, please volunteer. Because multitasking is not what I do well, let alone with my brain injury, but let alone at 10:04 in the morning when I haven't slept. And that looks to be it's at an 8. I should have grabbed dice that are a little easier to read. 84. Let me see if I got some. Yeah, there we go. Better dice for reading. Exotic. While breathable, the atmosphere has unexpected effects on off-worlders. These may include strange emotional states, minor hallucinations, increased appetite, or almost anything else. Harmless in most cases. Okay, where was that at? 5 parsecs. Now it's an exotic. Exotic atmosphere. I like the idea of kind of trying to build off the kind of Star Wars milieu that's already in place as well. So population levels. I'm going to turn this on so I can see better. 77 widespread population. Cool. What is next? Biosphere. Animal life, particularly plant life of a planet, will inform your terrain setup. Planets with very limited biospheres will tend to only have a few plants and are likely to have forests or extensive growth. On the other hand, some planets may resemble world-spanning jungles. The planets with no atmosphere will not often have biospheres through exceptional organisms have been encountered in very large edges. Human space, roll 3 times and pick the lowest result. Okay. We got a 74. We got a 77. Apparently this dice likes 7s. And we got a 54. And that 54 is going to be moderate biosphere. Why does sphere look wrong? But I think it's right. Nope, it's not. It's pH, isn't it? Don't get old, kids. Terraforming. Colonists often attempt to adapt the planet for their own needs with varying degrees of success. If terraforming was performed as world sort of planet having its current characteristics from gaming perspective, this influences how Earth-like conditions should look. The less terraforming, the more alien and the weird the plants should be. I hope we get weird plants, to be honest with you. 83. Ecological disaster. Early colonists inflicted massive ecological damage through ignorance, carelessness, or disaster. Environmental suits recommended. That could play into our weird atmosphere. I kind of like that idea. That by colonizing it, and it could have been something as far back as like the Rakatans or the Gree or whoever else. But the fact that it's insanely messed up, or like at least it has significant issues. I'm trying to think about it's not been Barnes, but the planet where the separatist troops wore helmets and were like had a gas pumping through it. I can't remember for the life of me what that was, but like overgrown fauna, weird colors, and an atmosphere that was hard to process, as well as just like a perpetual darkness. But we can go through it. I mean, we can think on it more. As always, I'm always open to ideas from the chat. All right, local society. The factions in the area, any given colony or settlement of factors vying for control. Sometimes they work in relative harmony, other times they are at each other's throat. A small settlement may have one or two, with a huge settlement on plenty. On average, 3 factions are a good start. So let's go down here. And say factions. So I also found someone did a conversion for 5 parsecs to kind of Star Wars. Umbara, thank you. Thank you, Beardly. Beardly, if you have some dice in front of you, by all means, jump in, my friend. If you would like to come on the stream, by all means, good sir, you are always welcome, brother. All right, so we're going to do 3 factions here. And I think I want a world that's way out on the very, very edge of the Outer Rim. So Imperial presence is going to be Unity Authority, I think. Corpos would be its own thing. Local authorities, I don't know. I don't think we get that far just yet. Maybe that would be like local government. So let's roll 3 times. Anybody out there else want to roll? Let me know. We got a 57. Philosophical movement. I mean, it could be something as wild as like a Force cult. Philosophical movement. We've got... Let's see. It's sad that no one else came on today because this is like the funnest streams we do. 84. Charismatic leader and followers. Oh, Beard might come on pretty soon. Charismatic leader and followers. So I'm kind of thinking that this is set in the same time period as our current Star Wars game and corresponds with like our Scum and Villainy game. That this is in the early days of the Empire. I think we're at like 9 BBY. There isn't really a Rebel Alliance. It's just kind of terrorist cells. And we don't really have organized things like that. But I would look at like a charismatic leader and followers would be someone like Rob Coda. So, and 93 mining or other industry. So this would definitely be the mining guild. Which is a good, then you are automatically have a good, what am I looking for here? The words, potential antagonist or employer with shady business. We're going to go ahead and, no, I'm so used to programs that are not Google Docs. Nope. Format, there we go. Bold. And italic. Okay, italics. Italicized? I don't know. Don't ask me, I just work here. This is a problem too. I just need to take the time to sit down and teach myself again how to utilize those tools better. Freedom fighters, actually, the T word is bad for recruiting. That's probably true. Although the T word's kind of sweet. Faction strength. Players who are interested in a more politically oriented game may determine the strength of each faction by rolling 1d6, which we're going to do because if nothing else, I like background. With higher scores indicating more relative strength, the strength difference of 1 point between two factions is fairly evenly matched. A 2-point difference means significant gap. If a mission or request would directly benefit or harm a faction, roll 1d6. On a 6, the faction increase or decrease its strength by 1 point is appropriate. I like this. I like it a lot. So we're going to go first with this philosophical movement. The strength is a 1. So not super strong here. It's their strength. We're going to go here. All right. For our charismatic leader and followers, there are 3. Maybe this our philosophical movement is an offshoot of this charismatic leader and followers. Like they're a unhappy group who are splitting from this larger movement from this leader. Maybe this is like a maybe it's a CIS holdout that has oh wow, that light is hot. Why did I grab that? I think there's things there. Okay, let's check out what the strength of our corporate mining guild is. Bata 5, baby. So it kind of follows up the chain pretty perfectly for what we're doing. If the corporate mining guild maybe has control of this particular place, and maybe I'd have to look and see what it is, but the mining guild that they used in the Mandalorian that Cobb Vanth ran out of Tatooine would be a good place to start. But yeah, I mean, already my brain is spinning. This might be a really good creation tool just overall, and I would love to see what someone has used in relation to this tool for something like 5 fathoms or 5 leagues from the borderland, because like doing some of these things for a fantasy game might be really interesting as well. So faction war, while future supplement may detail more in-depth systems, each campaign turn roll a 1d6 for each faction. If the faction rolls equal or under its strength and the opposing faction fails, the opposing faction loses a point. So you've also got this kind of ever-evolving state of these factions. I like that. Is it something I might use? Probably. I mean, but I also got to get off my duckus and actually play. Social model. So it's a social system. Let's see what we've got. We've got a 66. Let it be cool. Let it be cool. Let it be cool. Affinity group. Interesting. Poopy butts. So what's the government? Yeah, we're not going to meddle with that. An affinity group. Hey, Walgreens, what's happening, son? So an affinity group, something I'm not like that type of verbiage for that is something I'm not. Okay, so this is one. So I'm kind of having a problem wrapping my head around it. I mean, I can see it, but it's well explained. I think it's just me having a hard time getting my head around it. Dominated by a particular group. So it could be Star Wars Splinter Cell, exactly, or Star Wars Zero Company. It could be something to the effect of maybe it's. Um, I mean, we could go straight up wealth inequality and have it be folks who maybe are holdings have holdings in the mining guild, and that they are running this area. We also have to figure out what the hell they're mining. Um, Star Wars has this weird thing where it's like, I don't know what Tabana gas does. I don't know how they power their starships. It's like they only use things when they really need to, and I don't want to go with something like, oh, it's a cortosis mine. Um, Instead, I really want to think about something that's important but kind of niche. Um, and we might have to make something up. I don't know, but I like the idea of it being maybe a class warfare issue, um, or it could just literally just be that the mining guild owns the government, um, or it could be a cult. It could be that charismatic leader and follower still are holding out, trying not to be bought off. We have options. We can do whatever we want. Let's go to problems. A good source for missions and campaign ideas. Every settlement has issues that plague it. A typical settlement should have 2 to 3 problems to solve. Problems will be tackled as a quest or through custom-built scenarios the player may take on at any point. After they've completed 3 missions in the settlement, the group returns to a planet later in the campaign, add a new problem. Every time I hear the word problem, I have to say it, all I can think of is the Sex Pistols. So let's make a new spot and let's get our problems in place. I've got a problem. The problem is you. All right. 19. It's a dangerous cult. Man, we got this religious thing down. What if it's a robot cult? What if it's like a droid Gotra type of situation, like a holdover from the CIS where the droids just basically were like, oh, I'm not going to die in your stupid human war. Fuck off. I'm free. You know what? Yeah, I'd like a droid religion could have popped up. It could be anything. All right. Next problem. 44. Out of control tax collector. This could be, what if it's public works money being used to pay for the mining guild or to subsidize it? Would you write Beard Fringe Group mining Beskar that is afflicted with Splinter Mando cell finds out about it? Could be. That's it. I like that as well. This is the thing about utilizing books like this is they're vague enough to allow you to just insinuate your ideas, but they have enough meat on the bone that it immediately like makes your brain just set off in these directions and come up with neat ideas. And our last roll for problemos, 77. I'm rolling a lot of doubles today. Infiltration by external force. Infiltration by external force. Interesting. Empire? It could be the Empire. I'm not saying it's the Empire, but it could be the Empire. I mean, that would be, if we're that far out, it could be the Empire. I'm not saying it's the Empire. It's probably the Empire. It also could just be the ISB. It could also be just like a them like out there that far doing some type of, you know, for lack of a better term, some type of psyop to try out new weaponry or try out new amazing book from popping in and out. It sounds like something. Notable exports, mostly for flavor. Most words renowned for at least one export. Okay. I might have IBS. You don't know. All right, let's roll and see what this wonderful export is. I'm really hoping it is raw resources or something to like. I could just say it's raw resources. Really shitty infiltration. It's true. But I kind of want to roll in case like it's something else. Like maybe they use the material to make something else. 93, nothing whatsoever. Oh, okay, that's fine. God, I wanted it to be raw resource. Nothing whatsoever. I will say, I don't know how many. I don't know if we've got people watching or whatever. I know Beard's here, but I'm having a lot of fun with this. So I would highly recommend just this every star an opportunity just for world building. I'm having a lot of fun with it. To flesh out more, the role-playing aspects of a campaign and settlement can be populated by a few important characters that can be drawn on for a variety of purposes. The campaign continues. 2 to 4 important people. We are using factions. It suggests that each faction receives one important individual. Okay, so we are going to do... I know that there's things for us to roll to figure out individuals, so we're going to wait on this one. Okay, to enhance role-playing narrative in any campaign turn, you can use settlement events. We are not in campaign turn yet. Starship events. We're not dealing with that right now. Background events. This is more in-game stuff. I want creation. Bounty hunting. So I think we might have hit the breadth and scope of what we can get out of this book. This is good. I like this a lot for objectives for creating adventures, and I really like this as well for context of conflict. Boarding actions, of course. 0G rules, suit fractures. Okay, I think we're done with that book. So I kind of want to figure out, too, where exactly this planet we're creating is, and what I really want is for it to be down in here. Because our regular game is way the hell over here, way out there. But I don't want it to be in hut space. And this is also, I think this might be post-Clone Wars. But somewhere down in this area, just off the beaten path a little bit. So, I mean, we would be looking at Outer Rim. I think Wild Space is what's up here. And over here, no, Wild Space is here. And this is the unknown regions out here. So I'm thinking that's Wild Space. Outer Rim, way the F down here. Planet Orange, Purple Ring, Planet Orange, Purple Ring. Let's see what we got for characters then. Let's look at character creation. We just want the basic ass book. Is this the basic? Yeah, second. Game turn now. I just want to do some character creation. I'm going to have to do some reading because this is like an 88-page rule book. It is solo or co-op. 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 So, yeah, I'll be trying to figure out someone to play with, but and if I get real ballsy, maybe even recording little bits. Because I, for one, it's a weird thing. I do like battle reports on YouTube. But I like them when they're go up. I really like them when they are short. Like I love. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the channel now. Um, but I have it up, so I will grab it real quick. Gorilla Miniature Games. Um, I love their stuff. That channel cannot be beat. It's fantastic. Peachy right now. Peachy. I can't remember Peachy's channel is called. Peachy something. Peachy Tips. PG Tips is also great, and he does battle reports, and he was doing something with Five Parsecs for Home called the Rambalorian. Um, so yeah, and the cool thing about this beard is you can play this game with miniatures, or you don't need miniatures. You could literally just play it, and you can play without dice as well. It's got a lot of interesting things going on there. I of course want to play it with some miniatures. Um, so let's go and find the building a crew. I don't know if I'm as big a fan of the layout of this book right now, but that's okay. I do like this little shot here, although tires in space, really, how gauche. Story points. When are we going to get to this making dudes part? Making dudes, making $1 million dudes. Like this, I don't want to play a game with cops shooting at people. I mean, fuck that. Someone was telling me about something the other day, and they were telling me about how it was like, you feel so realistic, and I'm like, I don't want realism. If I'm going to be involved in something that is supposed to be a release, I want something that is not realistic. Like, give me away from that. That's too much all the time. I need something that is not related to the realism portion of things. Campaign reference. What about making guys? This is a lot of cool stuff. I just want to find the making dudes. Do I have the wrong book, maybe? This is the second edition. Designer notes. I love the character sheets, the record sheets. They're very cool. All right, let's see. Let's just cheat and use Google and see where the book is. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. If you could see my terrible entry into Google right now, you'd be ashamed. It's so bad. All right. But main rule book. Let's try this. Page 11, character creation. You know what else I'd like to play a game of? I'd like to find a game that fits the vibe, as I would love to play in like a Buckaroo Banzai game. Maybe it's just because I've been listening to some people talk about it lately, and I have the John Big Booty and oh gosh, now I can't think of the actor's name. John Lithgow doing a terrible Italian accent that sounds more Russian than anything else as the aliens. So here we go. Determining the composition of your group. Before you take a moment to decide what your group is going to look like, how many fully developed characters do you want? All of them fully developed. Come on now, even the goons. So you can go 1d3 plus 1 characters, 1d3 plus 1 goon, or good beginning, but you go so far as one character, squad of goons. I think we're gonna go. I believe 1D. We're gonna go with 4. We're not gonna roll. We're with 4 characters. Actually, let's go with 5. Let's go with 5 characters. I think 5 always feels good. So 4 steps in creating origin, motivation, class, special circumstances. Cooperative group play or you must remain aside. Also, you can play this with a game master. So I'm not doing that though. All right, generating player group. The character is available to a player in command as their group. Yada yada yada. Origins. Okay. So we are going to go. We're not going to name our characters. We're not going to decide who's leader until we're done. We're just going to go by numbers. All right, cool. Let's roll for number 1. And this is Origin. 31. 31 is a drifter. He doesn't know what happened with those bodies. Number 2 is a 13, low-tech colony. And we'll go back and read what they are after we get them all done. Low-tech colony. I believe there's even a thing in here for name creation, too. Number 3, 79, Isolationist Enclave. He's a loner, Dottie, a rebel. Exactly. Number 4, 77. We just did that, so we're gonna re-roll. I don't like doing double. We've got a 47. Excuse me. I can't apparently read. Religious cult. Oh. What kind of religious cult? I know, and it's got swords. Super Spike. Hey, Spike. Good to see you, as always. As always, as always. Number 5 to stay alive, baby. That is a 16. Mining colony. So we've got 1 Homer. All right, what's next? Should we express and see what these are? Like, let's go backwards. Mining colony. What's a mining colony do for you? Did I just go right by it? What was a mining colony? Oh, there it is. Rich minerals are the resources, but too expensive to terraform. Tend to become mining colonies. British life under British conditions. Occasionally, it pays well. That's fair. Low tech. It's common for colonies to revert lower levels of technology than their parent world. Since simple, sustainable technologies can easily be produced, such as preparation for life hardship. Cool. Drifter, never quite fitting in, never quite settling down. You spend your youth trying to make do as well as you could wherever you ended up. Religious cult, only 2 things that are considered beyond counted by unity bureaucracy are people and religions, whether they believe in human transcendence, the cannibal machine of 1,000 hells, or the aggravated coming of the third pie god. They do so with fervor. Fair. And like subjugated colony on an alien world would have been cool too. Isolationist enclave. Unity worlds are littered with occasional sizable enclaves that prefer to keep the rest of the galaxy at arm's or gun's length. Some are survival's crazy, some follow philosophies that require isolation, some simply prefer minding their own business. As long as they pay their taxes, Unity tends to leave them alone. Remember, too, we're switching this over into Star Wars kind of thought process. So I believe that instead of like the isolation enclave would just not pay taxes to like whoever runs the world, whoever has whatever government or group has control over it. Character motivation. Time to roll some dice 5 times. Number 1, 97. Freedom, baby. Just freedom. They're a drifter and they want freedom. This person really feels already kind of understandable here. All right. What about our low-tech colony kid? Ah, boo. Let's just put them all in real quick. This is the way to San Jose. All right, second roll. 19. Glory. This is for a low-tech colony. I'm starting to think maybe like some type of fighter, some type of like maybe gladiatorial thing. Yeah, I mean that's kind of matches up too. That immediately pops and makes me think of a certain kind of aspect. Spike, if you've got dice and you want to roll them so I don't have to roll them, please do. Number 3 is a flat 10. Fame. I want to live forever. This is for our isolationist enclave. What if it's somebody who wants desperately to be the voice of the voiceless here? Which could also be very interesting. Uh-oh. The Google one works. You just let me know, man. I know you are good for rolling them dice. 72. Romance. That's interesting. Religious cult and in a romance. What if you're in a romance with your own little religious figure? All right, mining colony. It's the last one. What are we going to get here? I hope it's good. Give us something good. Come on, dice gods. Give us something good. 67. Revenge. Revanche. Solo. Yes. CM Solo. All right. I mean, I'll be honest. Just looking at what we've got so far, I'm kind of interested. I'm more than kind of interested. Character class. Currently we're rolling D100s, so 2 10 sides. Exactly, voice of the voiceless. Pepsi Phil is leading the charge, which I know will make Super Spike real happy. All right. Spike, if you've got Luger Horse. For those who don't know the lore, Beard and I used to do wrestling commentary together. We were also both lifelong professional wrestling fans. Beard and I are not fans of one Lex Luger. I generally would say on our old podcast, yes, we used to do a podcast about wrestling, that he is responsible for the death of Miss Elizabeth, um, allegedly. So yesterday, when Beard was over for our normal Saturday morning hangout, um, I said, I have something for you. Close your eyes. And I put something in his pocket, and it was a Lex Luger collectible card, um, which was just chef's kiss. I knew how much he would hate it. So yeah, there's Lex Luger lore between us, um, and I love it very much. Spike, hit me with that first roll, baby. And let's see what your ass gets. Hey, I like Lex Luthor. I like Luthor. I especially like the complexity they've given him. Number one is a scavenger. So freedom, motivation, drifter, scavenger. What does scavenger do? You can roll up the next four as well. Scavenger, you have a unique knack for finding things, finding use for discard garbage. Can we just cut and paste this? No, of course not, because you're gonna make this difficult on me, aren't you? Copy. Let's do one of these majibbers. Paste without. Do I want paste without formatting? I would like paste with. And that'll work. Okay, there's that. Luther, yes. Luger, no. 12 on the second one. You are a scientist. Some pursue science because they feel a calling to discover the world. Others want to build killer robots. Both are fair. So which one was this? This is our low tech glory. Oh, okay. Well, maybe no longer gladiator. Maybe just scientist, looking to have their creations recognized. That is not what I wanted, and you know it's not. Must have hit a button I shouldn't have. Okay. We're gonna move that up there. We're gonna go. In the index of Lex, can we roll? No, don't re-roll. I like what we're doing this way. I like when we're just going. 41 negotiator. I want to stick with our rolls. If we need to make some moving around of stuff, I have no problem with that. If we see a story there that looks better, I'm fine with that. But I want to keep the rolls kind of pure, I guess, for lack of a better term. Unlike the agitated negotiator is usually employed by someone else to make their points. They're from an isolationist enclave, so they could be like the equivalent of someone like the Mormon religion, where they go door to door. I can't think of what it's called when you go do that business. 64. You're on your mission. That's what it is. Scoundrel. Your generic starport scum. Your parents are probably disappointed. If you had marketable skills, you would do something different. I fucking love it. I really, really love this write up. You're in a religious cult, but you're doing it for romance, but you're also a scoundrel. We might have to do a little moving stuff around, but I want to keep these things. Moving them around once we've got them is easy. Last but not least, 13. Scientist. I would like you to re-roll that one because we already have a scientist rolled up. So hit me with a re-roll, Spikester. Or Beardster, or whoever else is out there in the ether. It's 56. 56 is petty criminal. Come on. I just want to grab this one thing, and you guys are making it so much harder than it needs to be. Do. Jeez. Boo. In polite company, you say you work at localized trade item acquisitions. I like it. I like it a lot. Like I said, when we're looking at these, I feel very much so like we can make any changes that we feel would make a better character or even build something more interesting for our 5-person crew. I do think the first one, Drifter, Freedom, and Scavenger, work pretty well together. I think maybe our number 2, Low Tech Colony, Glory, Scientist, a little iffier on. There is a beard around these parts. He's moving in and out, doing other things right now. I like the negotiator for the isolationist enclave. Fame, I'm a little like on it. The religious cult, romance, scoundrel, I like a lot as well, and that works pretty well. And I think the petty criminal, revenge, mining colony all works together very, very well. But we can make changes. And if someone looks at that and says, I like this, but why can't we just make this change? By all means, please shout it out in the chat. Let's make some changes. Special circumstances. Fringe is populated by any number of talented individuals, people with shady or unusual past, or straight up freaks. Use the table below to determine if any unusual circumstances, capabilities, or skills are possessed by your character. So let's make a spot on our little, what was it? Special what? Special circumstances. All right. Spike or anyone else who wants to make those rolls, give me them rolls. It's another D100. We're going to do it 5 times. And then I think while we're doing that, we will consult the Star Wars mod and see what they would say we could use for that. And if we agree with it, we'll use it. If we don't, we'll make our own shit up because that's what we do. Whew. All right. Who's got some D100 rolls for me? Also, while we're doing that, I'm trying to figure this out, Spike. I'm really, really, really... Yeah, same dice. I really want to do something with this. I have a couple mudas, and I would really like to do something like interesting. I've got the an extra Turtles of Grayskull dragon guy, and if I could figure out a helmet situation and then put a cape on it, I think this would look metal as hell. Um, 100, dang son. Um, Mundane, just an ordinary everyday human being with big hopes. Our drifter is just a regular guy, regular ass guy. I mean, is what it is. Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes it just be like that. No, no, it won't format. Bold. Okay. 35, 58, 3, and 92. All right, let's start with 35. You're a mutant. Rogue genetics, horrible botch. All right, let's see if we have our Star Wars one out and about. All right. So a mutant would be any generic species. All right. Taking suggestions from the chat, what would be a species of Star War that you think would be a fun addition to our crew? That would be a drift, or excuse me, that would be from a low tech colony. We'll be looking for glory. Again, I think we're going to switch this scientist up to something else because, or we could keep it. I mean, it could be like you're a cool bashy scientist. Like maybe you look like a big smashy boy, but you're just really just a smart guy. So you said we're just put alien because it could be anything. So we need to figure that out. What is the giant like? They're part of. There's one in the and Saw's crew, the partisan. Um, oh, Gigorin. I think those guys look super cool. Ooh, I'm not sure if I know the Petitites, but I'm about to find out. Oh, I like the Petitites too. The female with the headdress picture looks like kind of like the Lydia Payne from Planescape, or from actually from that would be Planescape. No, Super Spike, no. No. Flat ass no. So I think we go here and we put we'll put either Petitite, or we'll let y'all let me know Gigorin, what you would prefer. Gigorin. One of those two. You tell me what you would like better. Lurman. What's the Lurman? Oh, the monkey dudes? They're all right. They're all right. I think we go Petitite or Gigorin because they're very different. But they're both very cool. I like them both. I like them very much. All right, so we're on number 3. Sorry, I'm trying to, as we go along, put this in so I can get a better idea of where things are at visually for me, because I struggle. All right, so what is this, number 3 we did? Regular sky, alien. So the third number would be 58. Sanctioned alien. One of the many alien races that mingle with humanity on the fringes roll for 3 alien traits. Okay, we're going to keep that one because let's see what our Star Wars. What is it? Sanctioned alien. That's what we're looking for. There's nothing on there. All right, we're going to put it down and we'll try to figure this out as we go. Ah! Now, what are you doing? Maybe this is something where it's some type of alien race that the Empire especially would be very. I mean, this could be a Wookiee would be a good one in this particular case. Some type of alien that has definitive issues with that. Super Spike, you're doing great. Don't get down on yourself. You're doing fantastic. A 3 is for our next person. A 3 is a gadget. I'm cool with that. Let's see what gadget it is. It says look below. Rolling the gadgets below. Okay, cool. Does that work very well? Guess we'll find out. Remember, like I said, we can do whatever we want as far as mixing and matching those, but we're not doing re-rolling. I want the rolling to be pure. So if you're already looking at this and you're like, I like this, but this combination I feel like sex balls. Let's move this around. I am willing to hear you out on that. All right, last member of our crew here for this particular exercise. Again, my apologies. I'm just doing this as we go. Spike, you rolled a 92. I'll re-roll that 92, please, Spike, because we already have a regular ass guy. An everyday normal ass guy. I need to chug some water. Ooh, let me tell you something, baby. Okay. Woo. Anybody? Anybody roll? I can roll. I can also just roll. 18? Perfect. You beat me to my roll. Talent. Roll on the talents listed below. We're going to do that. I like that's something we haven't done before. Perfect. Good roll, Spike. Talent. All right, what's next? Talents. Okay, so we will roll once on the talent. So 100 again. Counterattack. If you brawl, you may re-roll dice. Cool. That's one talent. Come on, man. You turd. Okay, what else did we need there? We did that one. Gadget table below. Okay. Those are alien traits. We'll come back to that. Sonic abilities. Gear and gadgets. All right, give me a D100 roll, please. 86. Booster pills. Has a drug problem. Yeesh. Let's go back up. Alien traits. All right, roll 3 times. Give me 3 rolls. Apparently, this person has multiple, like, they're from a very mixed family. It does. It does fit the generic starport scum just smashing down random boner pills from the spaceport. So yeah, I like that one a lot. $78, 58, 36. 78 would be fascinated by xenoforms. Okay. That one I like a lot. It's just like they're totally like into their buddies. Like, hey, you guys are new. I don't know you guys. Ah. Hey man, you really got to stop robbing people all around. We don't have any rules here, but we feel like we need that one. I completely agree. That's a little much. A little much, my man's. 58. Brutal. Ooh, brutal's a kind of a cool. Defeating an enemy in brawl, all enemies within 8 inches have a shock die rolled against them. You're smashy. You're big and you're smashy. Nope, that's not what I want to do. 3. And our third and final spot on that is 36. Mental influence. Succeed at one persuasion or bluff permission. Cool. This sanctioned alien kind of owns. So here's what I'm thinking now. What if this is a Petitite and our Gregorian is down here as our sanctioned alien? Um, just a thought. Just a thought. They'd be from an isolated. It kind of like I'm kind of getting the thing in my head of like someone who's been like a monk almost. Those are the dick you're looking for exactly. Like maybe someone who's been in a like a monastery type environment and now is out in the world. You know, has that kind of innocence as far as like fascinated by their xenoforms. So you know, looks at other members of their ship as like, oh hey, I don't know you. I've never been around your type of race before. So interesting. Um, yeah, they can even look at like what I'm understanding here is they can look at another character as a rivalry with them as a friend, even though they're not. Um, it fits the brutal thing as far as just being something that's can smash, and then succeed at persuasion or bluff permission. That one I think is the one that's kind of all right. Um, but still interesting. There's a potential there for it to make kind of sense. Okay. Yeah, poor regular ass guy gets nothing there. What's next? We went through these. All right. We need to roll for a weapon for each guy and for a gadget on each guy. I must have sacked you. Will you stop telling any new crew members that it's just creepy? Um, yeah. All right. So we need 5 rolls on each table here. We're going to weapon and gadgets. Why am I doing it this way? I should just boop, boop, boo, and then just go bam, bam. All right. Either one of you or any of you yahoos want to make me some rolls here? Okay. We're gonna go in pairs, I think. That way we can do the gadget and the the weapon at the same time. So for the drifter, the weapon is an 89 handgun plus brutal melee weapon. And then their gadget would be 66 jump belt. And the next one would be a 2 and a 72. 2 would be a handgun, and 72 would be a micro launcher. Don't know what that is. I'll have to figure out the equivalent. Next would be $53.99. $53 is a shotgun and $99 is a loaded dice. That one feels like it might be with the wrong character. Like it should be down with our shifty guy. But like I said, we're going to be making the changes as we go. $22.63. 22 auto rifle, 63 stabilizer. Auto rifle stabilizer. They already have booster pills. They're already doing them dirt drugs. Last but not least, a 12 and a 10. 12 is a blast pistol and 10 is combat armor. Blast pistol, combat armor. Our petty criminal may have been someone who saw some shit. Maybe they were a former soldier because they are in revenge. They're in a mining colony. Their origin's a mining colony. They've got counterattack. Interesting. What's next? Go for a little bit longer and then we'll call it because we're already over an hour. Ordnance. So we're going to roll once as a crew. Oh, give me that sweet, sweet D100 dice roll, somebody out there. $96. 1 frat grenade, 1 dazzle grenade. I don't know what these are. Said we'll have to figure out what the equivalents are, but cool to know what we got. The ship. Y'all ready to ship? I think we do the ship and then we call it. Maybe. We'll see. All right. It's not a Starship combat game, so the ship will feature only in the narrative and to help you imagine what things look like. Interesting ship can, of course, imply an interesting origin or purpose to the group. Some players may enjoy making drawings of the ship or even painting a miniature model of it. Do whatever increases your enjoyment of the campaign. So we're going to start with one roll, 1D100 roll. Somebody hit me with that beautiful bean footage. 70. Oh, Got two numbers, 45 and a 76. Spike, you choose 45 or 76. Which makes you happy? Don't cheat. Which number speaks to your soul? Throwing numbers out now. All right, we'll just go with 45 as the first number. It's a retired scout ship. So it could be something like, I can't think of what the ship the Bad Batch had. Um, the particular type of shuttle they had, something to that effect. It wasn't a Lambda class shuttle. It was like a Beta class shuttle. How did we meet? No, I appreciate it. You're just like hammering them out. But how did we meet, huh? I will take your rolls to figure out how we met. Narrative purposes, your next roll was a 20. Pursue motivation of a random group member. To pursue the motivation of a random group member. Well, that'd be interesting. So we got some varied final steps. We're not adding goons. The armory was an armory. May acquire but are not currently on the character. Friendship and rivalry. Various events in the game may cause characters to become friends or rivals. Friendships and rivalries are always mutual. Friendship means the two characters have grown very close during missions rather than having to move into contact to recover a friend that is knocked down or bailed. You simply have to move within 2 inches. That's cool. Rivalry means you don't get along. You can do these at character creation. Freeform characters. Some players don't like randomized characters. Well, they're stupid. We like them. All right, we're going to do some flaws. We don't have to keep them if we don't like them because they're not required, but I like the idea of putting flaws on characters. I think it generally is pretty good. That's definitively not what I wanted. That's okay. All right. Omicron class. Yes, that's exactly it. That's because I don't. Was that in it like an old shuttle type? I don't remember now. I'm a bad Star Wars fan. I thought that was like an old shuttle. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was like the new hotness. All right, let's take a look at flaws. You rolled a 20. Shaky. Well, this is pretty good. So way back in the day, when I used to play in a West End Star Wars game in college, the best man at my wedding actually played a character whose nickname was Shakes. He was a rebellion pilot, but he had like an addiction. I can't remember if it was like the alcohol or if it was death sticks, whatever. So he had to make all of these like checks or he would get like the DTs. It was wild to have that person be your primary mode of transportation in a game. So I really should. I need 4 more numbers. I really should take the time to reach out to that person. I haven't spoken to them in a number of years. So Had a falling out. As people who know me can tell you, boy, if I give you the, I give you the, but also don't come to my house, fuck things up, and then act like an idiot. I'm just gonna get mad, even if you have your own problems going on. I'm just not gonna be very tolerable of it. Hindsight being 2020, though, I should have. I should be a better person, and I'm trying. Lord knows I'm trying. I've been thinking a lot about that lately, trying to be better um, when it comes to those around me. I've grown and I have evolved a little bit more. But at the same time, I'm also still kind of a dink. So trying to figure it out. 83, 37, 60, 50. Oh, that's not it. 83 is elusive. I don't like this one as much. Like I said, we're going to put them down and then decide what we like and what we don't, since these are not required. Next one was 37. Ineffective shots. May only guard fire after turns where the figure was inactive. That's kind of interesting. Like you're just a bad shot. So that one I kind of understand a little bit more. And next was 60. Poor marksmanship. You've never fired beyond 20. Okay, your weapons have limited range. That's fine. That's just you're a better close shot than a far shot. Poor marksmanship, this was. And the last one Spike hit us with was a 50. Abrasive. -1 to persuasion rolls. I think this might fit this particular character really well. Mine called Revenge. Yeah, Petty Criminal. This one seems real good. What was it called? Abrasive. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else we need to knock out. Stand-up fight. Scenarios. Salvage. I think we're done. I think we got our crew. I think maybe. Do we have some names? Is there a cool name builder in here? Some randos, leaders, in-game events, enemy setup. I would like to get these actual books. Because boy, oh boy, oh boy, are they pretty. Modifius makes really good books, I will say that. Player character winning the game. Names, please. Names. Well, at least we know what the guns do. Handgun is just oh, it's like a slug thrower. Okay. Blast pistol is a Star Wars gun. Auto rifle. slug thrower, shotgun. You could kill somebody with a shotgun. That's cool. Shotgun, no. Hunting rifle. I think we got that. Like a sniper rifle. Frag grenades are just grenades, it looks like. Dazzle are like a flashbang. Brutal. Just a big old weapon. Frag. There's a combat armor. Is what he got. Well, it's pretty good. I mean, it means you can take a beating. Screen generator, no. Displacer, no. Communicator purifier, fixer, insta wall, duplicator, no. Scan bot, nano dock, concealment, stabilizer. Oh, cool. You can put that on a gun. Interesting. Micro launcher. Oh, you can use a grenade launcher. Cool. That's neat. You can attach things. Booster pills. Chemical stimulants. You can ignore flinches. I like that. Loaded dice. Just you can win it dice rolls and in between missions. Okay. I like that. I like that you can find all this alien stuff that's just out there. Oh, it's got all the things in the back. I like that very much. Thank you. What about these cool name generators? Character event. I'm very excited about this. Let's see if there's something in where I can find it. Oh, there's one online for ships and crew. Trailblazers Toolkit. Do I not have that book? Cruise. Maybe I don't have that book. Sad. Well, maybe we'll have to wait on that. I mean, it's... Oh, did Walgreens text me like 7 times again? It did. I'll tell you what. Walgreens drives me nuts because if I need something from them, I sit on hold for basically a day. But if they need something from me, they will attack me nonstop with every mode of communication possible. It's very frustrating. Maybe we won't be able to find this. That would be sad. Yeah, doing a quick look, I don't see it anywhere. Oh, that stinks. Well, I think we're going to call it here then. We got a good idea, and I'll start looking around and see if I can find something. If people have ideas for names of the ship, as well um, as some crew members, I'm definitively up to here. That it's a PDF is a little under $14. Not today, Satan. Not today. Hey, Mitch. Just to kind of look at what we got. We got we have a world we started building. We have some factions involved. We know that it's a government built by or controlled currently by an affinity group. We know that there's dangerous cult, there's out of control tax collector, infiltration by an external force. We know that we export nothing whatsoever from our planet. Always a good thing. For playing Star Wars, using the 5 Parsecs From Home tabletop miniatures skirmish game, narrative-driven skirmish game. We have 5 characters for our crew. We didn't make names. Our first character is a drifter. Motivation's freedom. They're a scavenger. What's their special circumstance? They're a regular ass guy. That's what their special circumstance are. Potentially they're shaky. They have a handgun, a brutal melee weapon, and a jump belt. I'm assuming a jump belt will just use like a jetpack, like a Mandalorian style jetpack. Our first person's from a low tech colony. Their motivation's glory. Scientist, maybe. We decided they're probably that's not what I wanted. They're probably peditite would be the race they are. And that they would have a handgun and a micro launcher. Our third person would be an isolationist, enclave, fame, and they're a negotiator. They have a ton of special circumstances, and we decided that they are, that they are Gagarin. I don't know. This is something we haven't really got to. It's a good question. Is it a cult from the planet or from outside? So one thing we found is there were 3 factions, right? There's a philosophical movement, a charismatic leader and followers, and then the industry, which has the most strength, which we said was the corporate mining guild. My thought is that the charismatic leader and followers were probably already in place and that the philosophical movement was a breakaway faction. But what if there's another cult that broke off from the primary charismatic leader and faction as well? Something to think about. We're currently in the process of kind of still trying to figure all this out. So it's a good question. Something like if you have an idea, I'm always open to hear it. And then our next guy was from a religious cult. His motivation is romance. His or her, excuse me. They're a scoundrel, which I think they were kind of the most fun. Poor marksmanship, even though they have an auto rifle with a stabilizer on it, which is pretty great. The last person is from a mining colony, so probably from here. Their motivation is revenge, and they are a petty criminal. We have some good ordnance. Our ship is a retired scout ship. And what we all have in common wired together is to pursue the motivation of a random group member, which we did not figure out. Let's see what Star Wars gives us for a retired scout ship. On good old Wikipedia. There's also the Faraway class scout ship, the Pathfinder scout ship, Radar Tigan scout frigate. Hmm. There's some options here that I'm not as familiar with. Well, I kind of like that fairway. That's a neat looking ship. We can also look at like some of these other potential ships in here that we could say were heavily modified because they were retired. But um, something to think about because it would need to have enough room for five, uh, five folks on it, but plenty to fiddle with. As far as miniature wise, someone said, and I think it's a cool idea. They said go look for. There was a video game. Oh, I've been reading before in call, and they have a cult that members volunteer to grow flowers from their hearts that are being used as a drug. That's fascinating. That's really cool. Huh. Maybe something to steal from. Um, there was two things that people suggested, and the first one was now I want to find this really quick. Bear with me for a moment while I pull out my handy dandy phone, which is kind of apparently now something I have to have. Mattel, Disney, and Pixar's Buzz Lightyear ships, that they are in scale and they're relatively cheap. I mean, I'm looking at some of these and they're like the highest one I see is like $17, and most of them are 10 or below. But there was another one too that they said to look into. Starlink Battle for Atlas. Um, the problem is I look it up and I don't see a lot on the website that shall not be named. Um, when I do find them, though, on a different website, they're relatively cheap, but apparently people have stated that they are in scale as well. I know some folks have said to use the Star Wars Micro Galaxy stuff, that it falls pretty close in the scale. I mean, but ships are kind of just there for set dressing anyway. Um, so I think it might be something just to kind of, yeah. I mean, I think just kind of finding stuff like Ubisoft Starlink, Battle for Atlas. There's a red ship called a volcano ship. I found one on the eBay for like $7 with like $6 shipping because shipping is ridiculous. It's a best offer. I really like the ship. It's got like a Z95 headhunter vibe to it. Um, but yeah, I'll have to keep looking. And then I've got a pile of sci-fi stuff to paint. Um, Once we kind of start to figure out, because I think it's going to be James and I. But of course, always open to other players, or even other people who are playing on their own if they want. If somebody wants access to my miniatures games folder, they can just reach out to me, because that's where I've got 5 Parsecs From Home currently, is in that folder. Yeah, I think that there's some possibility here. I think it could be fun. And again, it's a solo or co-op game primarily. I have found people who have done a lot of work to make it very Star Wars, and I want it to be something that's kind of going on at the same time as our Star Wars game is going on. That way, if we wanted to, conceivably, there could be some tie-in, or there could be something that happens that then would affect another game, even though one is taking place in the unknown regions and the other would be taking place on the edge of known space. I also need to buy some stormtroopers, I think. I'm trying to figure out some cheap ones on Etsy to paint, because I did just watch Peachy, again from Peachy Tips, paint some Stargrave miniatures from North Star. Um, for those that don't know, well, there's Stargrave is the space equivalent of Frostgrave, which I know I said earlier. Frostgrave's currently my favorite all-time narrative miniatures game. Um, North Star makes some miniature kits. They're just boxes for about $30, and I think you get like around 20 troops out of them. But they are, um, you put them together any way you want. They do that for Stargrave as well. They have, robots, aliens, mercenary sprues, scavenger sprues. You can buy them by the sprue if you can find them. It's just, again, the shipping is dumb. But I watched Peachy. Another thing I really love is you can take the Star Grave sprues and intermix them with the Frostgrave, and you can get some really interesting characters out of it. Peachy was painting his in the form of the Magnetron and Black Star Lego figures and freehanding them. They were really beautiful. So some of that makes me think of some of that effect. And I have some bones that may make a good stand-in for stormtroopers. But yeah, I'd like to stay away from buying actual Star Wars miniatures if I could, because my God, are they pricey. But I might be interested in grabbing some 3D printed stuff. And I have a bunch of files. I just have to find a way to print them. But yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. It's a game I'd like to play. I'd like to have James and I, if we play, maybe do some like tiny battle report stuff to use for the channel, or especially just to use to fill time during Extra Life. Little things like that I think we would like to add in. I know in the DC Showcase channel this week, since we're moving it to next Friday, Colin did a tiny little video because he could not remember what his character was, so he made a new character and gave it a new voice and everything, which I thought was pretty great. Little things like that, they actually do make a huge fun in and way to, I think, build a character up. He was a werewolf hunter, and I thought that was pretty great. And he had a southern accent, which it's always going to get my attention. So I think that's all I got, but I feel like we did pretty good. We made an entire crew. We got a ship. We just need names. And maybe I'll fiddle around with this more. Maybe I won't. You never know. But I think it's something we can fiddle around with on our prep schools. I'm not going to do any more prep for anything until I think I'll do prep next week for Star Wars, actually, next Sunday. And then, like I said, next Friday, DC Showcase Presents. Then the Friday after that is Chaos Scar. We had to move it to a different Friday due to scheduling conflicts with one of the players. But yeah, things are moving. We're doing stuff. And then I think we might mang on Friday. Or actually not Friday, on Tuesday. Since, I'll tell you what, last week was a month. Let's just put it that way. It was a rough one. Work was just real rough. Speaking of work, I would like to propose and see if I get people interested in doing a little mini fundraiser for my job. For those that don't know, I work in a homeless shelter, helping unhoused people primarily. Right now, the majority of people we have are the elderly and the mentally ill, and it's very depressing. But we're low on pillows. People donate to the health shelter all the time, but they donate stuff that they're trying to get rid of, which I think it probably makes people feel good to donate things. But like donating a NutriBullet to a homeless shelter is just the height of like, you have no understanding of what people are going through. So we need pillows. And so I talked to the boys, and we're going to try to do something to just have people donate pillows. Don't need your money. Just donate pillows, or donate money so we can buy pillows. But we have 66 beds in shelter, and pillows are hard to come by right now. We're a nonprofit, so it's just one of those things where getting basic things, towels and pillows, have been hard to get. It was our best fundraising year last year, but still, there's always going to be things we need. By hook or by crook, we just need those things. So, towels and pillows, that would be fantastic, and that's what I think we're going to try to get done. Is trying to get that to happen for the folks that live there. It's a rough time for a lot of people, especially for the elderly. I would love to be able to do more, but that's where we're at. We can use our capital here and the beautiful people who do tune into our channels, our channel and Dave's channel, and are willing to donate. I think that's something that we're going to try to do. If I can, I'll have to beg, borrow, and steal to get Dave to do it. But I'm kidding. Dave will do it. Dave will do it just because he's Dave and he wants to help. So that's probably coming up. If you have things that you want to play in, or things you'd like to see us do during that time period, like I think James wanted to call it late night pillow fight. Tell us, whether it's video games or RPGs or some other dumb thing we always do on this channel. Please reach out. Let us know. I mean, the people who watch us generally are in our Discord. If you're not, feel free to reach out, and I'll get you in there. Yeah, I'd like to see us do at least 1 more to 2 more charity things a year, in order to help out people who need it. In the end, when I go away, this will be really all that will stand the test of time as far as, did I help out my fellow humans? And that charity work is it. So reach out. I appreciate y'all, and thanks for hanging out and doing some awesome dice rolling and making a really weird but fun Star Wars crew. I hope you have I hope the rest of your Sunday is excellent. Get some rest, and I'll catch you Tuesday for Ming, unless I'm bad at games, which I might. You don't know. Otherwise, love y'all. Have a good one. Bye.